Hey guys, Kate here. In today's video, I'm going to be putting together both the word of the day and the essential of the day in today's Move Well Essential. We're going to be taking a look at one aspect of squatting. As I said in the essential of the day, squatting is something that a lot of folks need to be able to do, whether it's just to sit on the toilet or to actually work out and move and kind of get through life. And so we're going to be tackling one of the components that goes into the squat. And remember, the conversation can get much more complex and detailed. We're on day 2 though. We're keeping it simple at the starting point. So we're going to work on today's movement to access the passive and active range of motion of your hips when they flex, which is a part of what they have to do when you squat. So follow along as I take you through what passive range of motion looks like, what active range of motion look like, and then evaluating how yours is and how you can start improving it today.
Okay, everybody, time to lay down on the floor and check for passive range of motion of the hips when they flex. This is what passive range of motion is. My hand is guiding pressure down onto my leg to move me into hip flexion here. That's passive range of motion. Now I'm going to demonstrate active range of motion by using only the force of my own body being able to contract the tissues here to pull my knee to my chest. And as I do that, I try not to move any other part of my body and only use the energy and force that I can create right here. That's active range of motion.
Now that you've looked at the passive and active range of motion of your hips, we're going to apply that into a little drill to help you start improving your hip flexion so that you can squat better. Being able to flex your hips is a component of being able to do a squat. With this drill, it's important to note, if you feel any pain, stop. Consult a clinician or a physician who can help you with this. That could be a doctor or a physical therapist. Coaches and trainers are not the ones who handle pain in your body. In addition, if you do feel any pain in your joint or in any of your tissues, that may be a sign that something larger is going on and you never want to push into pain. So as we do this drill, you're going to work up to whatever range of motion feels safe and pain-free for you, no matter how large or small that range of motion is compared to mine, okay? In addition, because it won't be very obvious as we do the drill, the contraction that I'm making will be in the hip crease, and it's gonna start at 0% intensity, and I'm gonna work up to 30% intensity. So you are not trying to do an all-out maximum intensity squat contraction when you do this, okay?
Okay, laying on the ground, it's time to do a positional isometric, which basically means we're going to put you into a position and then ask you to make an isometric contraction, or a contraction that doesn't move joints in the body. So it'll be like clenching a fist. Nothing moves, but you add tension. We're going to do that in the hip today. So bring your knee up, pulling your hip into hip flexion only to a point that feels safe and pain-free. And we're going to hold here for 30 seconds. When the 30 seconds is up, you're going to start trying to increase or ramp up a light muscle contraction here in the tissues of the hip, starting at 0%, kind of where you are right now, relaxed, and slowly turning the dial up to 30% of your total possible contraction. In doing that, you may feel work happening in here, and you may notice that the knee comes closer to the chest. Let's take a look at it in real time. Okay, we're imagining the 30 seconds has just passed. I'm now going to start trying to contract the tissues of my thigh. 4, 5. Now I'm going to relax. I notice that my leg dropped a little closer to my chest in doing so. That's kind of cool if that happens. We're going to talk more about why that happens tomorrow in the essential. And let's assume another 30 seconds has elapsed. I'm going to start ramping up the contraction of the tissues here in the hip and in the thigh. 30% of my maximum contraction. Notice that means there's no change in the tone of voice or my facial expression because I'm not ramping up to maximum intensity here. 30% is still quite light. After 5 seconds, I'm going to relax completely and hold for another 30-second stretch. And you can repeat that for, in this instance, up to 5 intervals at a time. Notice as you do that, does anything change? with how much passive and active range of motion you're able to get.
By working in isolation like this to improve the way you flex your hips, you're able to start building the components in a safe and controlled manner that you need to make your final recipe of a squat. I hope this helps for today's essential. If you have questions, as always, you can post them online, use the MoveWellEssentials hashtag, or hit reply to any of the emails that you receive from me. They all come straight to me, and I'm happy to answer your questions. More tomorrow on the nervous system and how it's influencing things like what we just did today.